Hey guys, Happy Drive 42 here, and today I'm going to do something a little different. I just wanted to do something fun for the sake of it. So we are going through every paint scheme that was ran recently at the 2024 Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum, and we're going to rank them worst to best. This is just my opinion. My friends always say I have bad opinions, so I would expect some disagreements. Let me know in the comments which ones you agree and disagree on, because I'm sure to have some takes that a lot of people won't agree with, but we're just going to go through worst to best and talk about every paint scheme that ran. Hope you enjoy. Coming in 36th place as the worst paint scheme ran at the Clash, it is Noah Gregson's number 10 Rush Truck Center's car. And at first, when I first saw it online, I thought this is literally a test car. It was just gray with the logo and the number. Like, it literally looked like a test car, and it still kind of does. It looks a little better up close, with some gradients and stuff, but come on, I feel like a different color should have been used. It just feels kind of low effort to me. Coming in at number 35 is the race winning car from Denny Hamlin. I'm very sorry, the scheme just seems kind of messy. Like, it's mostly white with the other colors, like, I can't even really describe the other colors, but they just look weird. That red-orange color, I don't know, doesn't look good, and it feels like that and the black gradient are just kind of put in random spots, and it just doesn't flow at all. So, yeah, I can't really get behind the scheme. Now at number 34, we have Brad Keselowski's Castrol Edge scheme. I usually like RFK schemes and Keselowski schemes, but, and usually I like Castrol schemes too, but this one is just something about it doesn't do it for me. The random white at the top, and then the red and green gradients are just kind of, they don't really do it for me. I don't know. At number 33 is Coy LaJoie's Celsius Energy car. Gotten kind of tired of the Celsius cars at this point, but even for their standards, this one just seems kind of lazy, because the orange is only at the front. There's no sort of pattern to it. It's just kind of boring. The drink on the back is fine, I guess, but it's just kind of boring. And number 32 is Harrison Burton's Ford Motorcraft scheme, the classic Wood Brothers pattern. And normally I'd say it's a pretty good scheme. It's always been solid with the red pattern and just the classic white and gold number. But I think that this specific version is ruined just from the side of just the poor logo placement. And sure, it tries to minimize blank space, but something about that logo just makes the whole car look ruined to me. It just is ruined by the logo placement on the side, in my opinion. This is one case where I feel like the fuller number really hurt the paint scheme potential. And number 31 is Tyler Reddick's number 45 car. I'm not even really sure what it's supposed to be, Air Jordan, I guess, but it's interesting. Michael Jordan car. The pattern at the top I don't really mind. It's just these sort of half and half schemes don't always do it for me because it just doesn't flow at all. I do kind of like how the number seeps into the top part a little bit and you have the signature and everything. It's not terrible, but it's just kind of weird. And we'll follow that up with the other 2311 paint scheme, Bubba Wallace's Columbia car. This one's a bit better. I do like the colors on it, even if the gold number is a little bit out of place. The pattern is weird. It gives it an identity, but the random waves are just kind of, I don't know. They just seem weird to me. I can't get behind it. At number 29, we have Todd Gilliland's generator car. And this is one where I just feel like the gradient doesn't work. There's too much of a gradient where it kind of has this weird in-between color that just looks ugly to me. And the number is a bit too dark, but when the parts besides the gradient are okay. So, yeah. And number 28 is Austin Dillon's Bet MGM scheme. There's really nothing too wrong with this one. I do like the gold colors and stuff. It's just a little bit boring to me. I wouldn't say there's no effort put into it, and the sponsored space is taken up pretty well. It just, there's nothing that I really like about it. At number 27, we have the other Childress car with Kyle Busch's Morgan & Morgan scheme. I always like the yellow they put on those cars. Got an interesting picture on the hood, but I feel like the gradient's done a little bit better, but that there isn't enough yellow on the car, it just looks kind of boring. And number 6, and number 26 is Justin Haley's Circle car. Never heard of this. And honestly, I feel kind of bad for ranking it where I did. Like, I feel like it should be ranked worse, but I don't know. I like the blue and white. I really like the number outline, and the like fruit or whatever it is doesn't look as bad as it could. So it's a weird scheme, not great, but I don't hate it as much as I feel like I should. It's okay, actually. And number 25 is Kaz Grala's N29 car, the 15, and it's just kind of okay for a Rick Ware car. It's just the definition of okay, in my opinion. But the gold rims do help. Rick Ware cars had gold rims, and they look fantastic. Teams should be really experimenting with the rims more, and like, Ware, please use the gold rims more. They look awesome, but even then, the scheme is just kind of okay. 24 is Christopher Bell's Mobile 1 paint scheme, and it's kind of okay. It's got a decent mix of red, white, and black, but I don't know, it's not really, it's a little bit too messy. I'm not sure how I feel about the Pegasus thing. I don't even know what that's for, because, like, it just reminds me of Red Bull, but that's just me being dumb. There's a few empty spaces, but overall, it's fine. Like, we're just kind of at the point of the list where the schemes are just fine. And number 23 is Ryan Blaney's classic Menard scheme. What can you say about it? It's just, your usual Menard scheme. I'm still not sure how I feel about the black hood. I do like the black in the rear corner pedal, but I don't know, it's just fine. I do like the red stripe towards the front, or not really red, but the Menards logo stripe, and how it matches it right above the tire. I didn't even really notice that until now, but it doesn't really change my opinion all that much. And number 22 is Chase Briscoe's Miranda Tractor scheme, and I do wish that the angle in this picture, I'm using the pictures from J-Ski that I'll link in the description, but I feel like the angle here isn't the greatest, but I know what it looks like. It's been ran a lot, so I just feel like it's okay, I like the red and black, it just doesn't do anything too interesting. And number 24 is William Byron's Liberty University scheme. Now, Byron's schemes this year have been very controversial on the internet. They're just not looking good. This one is almost good. Like, I still love the Liberty colors. I think the pattern is fine. The thing that completely knocks it down several spots is the number outline, because it's just white, and the pattern does not support that whatsoever. It just makes this really messy spot around the number that if they just did something different for the border or changed the pattern around there, it would look great. But as it stands, I gotta put it in the middle of the list. Into the top 20, we have Ty Gibbs, number 54, Monster Energy car. What can you say? It is black with the Monster Energy green, and like, it's just how it's always been. It's boring, but it's also inoffensive. So it's at number 20. And number 19, we have Michael McDowell, Margaritaville. Pretty cool sponsor, but the paint scheme's just kind of okay. I like the colors. I do really like just kind of the random blue across there, but it's just nothing spectacular. Now we have his teammate, John Nemechek, number 18. Oops! Now we have his teammate, Todd Gilliland, in the number 38 at number 18. And the generator car is just kind of, I don't know. Wait. I'm stupid. Oops! At number 18, we have John Nemechek's number 42 Dollar Tree car. Now, I feel like, I don't know, but being in a more rural area, we have a lot of Dollar Trees, and when I figured out they were coming to NASCAR, I was really excited. I feel like if I didn't care about a Dollar Tree, I'd have the scheme lower. The colors are interesting. It's nice to see a green car. I really like the number. And the patterns, I don't know. I feel like the green for the patterns, there should either be more of it, or it should be a little bit brighter. But it's a cool scheme, I guess, but not great. And number 17 is Daniel Suarez, the WWEX Group car. And it's just blue. It's fine. it's just nothing to write home about. And number 16 is the Larson Hendricks car.
Oops!
And number 16 is Larson, and look, we're all tired of the Hendrick car scheme. I know we want something different, but as it stands, it's still a solid scheme on its own right, so that's why I have it where it is. At number 15 is Martin Truex Jr., the Bass Pro car. I always like the Bass Pro car with the orange. It's got an interesting pattern on the side that kind of blends in. I'm not really sure what they're going for, but it's a fine paint scheme. Number 14 is Eric Jones' Family Dollar car. Once again, excited to see Family Dollar in NASCAR, but I do think just as a scheme, this looks a lot better. I love the colors, and I think it looks fine. I don't really like the pointy bit to the right of the number, and I wish there was a little bit less white, but I still like it pretty much for the colors alone. And number 13 is Zane Smith, the number 71 car, Focused Health, and this is the first Trackhouse 71 scheme we get to see. Sorry, Spire 71. Technically it's Trackhouse, but or not really. Whatever. It's Spire, Zane Smith, and it's just interesting to see 71, but that aside, just looking at the scheme, the colors on the side are fine. I just don't like how the pattern isn't on the back and it just kind of stops. Otherwise, it's just a decent paint scheme. And number 12 is Austin Cindric's Freightliner car, and I do really like the scheme when it just comes to the blue sort of technology pattern and the Freightliner logo, but it would definitely be in the top 10 if not for the big gap on the side that has nothing in it. And sure, the pattern fills it in, but I just feel like there desperately needed to be something there, so that knocks it down a couple spots, but still a good scheme. Number 11 is Justin Haley, and I was a bit confused because I had Haley on my list twice, and it turns out I completely forgot that Hemrick is in the 31 car now, so I'm sorry about that mistake.
Oops!
The Haley car, I actually really like it. It's simple but effective. Love the Walmart blue and the yellow. I wish the pattern was a bit more complex, or had some sort of gradient or outline. And again, those gold rims really sell the car, especially because there's some, some of the other colors on this scheme and the 15 just match the rims, but I feel like this one is a lot better. And yeah, pretty good paint scheme. There is empty space, but I'll excuse it because it's a wear car. Into the top 10 now, we have Chase Elliott's a white Napa scheme. I do like the blue Napa scheme they're going for this year, but this special paint scheme honestly works better than it should. I don't know. That weird sort of outline they have in the middle actually works for me, and I really like the blue and how it contrasts with the white. So yeah, maybe the yellow logo with no other yellow on the car is a little bit off, but overall I like this scheme. And number 9 is Reddy Stenhouse Jr.'s Cheerios car. It's, just a Cheerios car. It's yellow. Got that little bit of a gradient and the heart-shaped Cheerios there. And I think it's just a decent-looking scheme all around. And number 8 is Alex Bowman Ally. And this year it kind of seems like they just put random crap all over the car. But for whatever reason it works. It just flows together. I actually like it. So yeah, pretty good. Joey Logano is next at number 7, the classic yellow Shell Pennzoil car. I really like it. I just like the red and yellow. The little red stripe gives it some more depth, I guess. And really my main issue with this car is how weird the front of the Mustang, the new Mustang front, looks with the scheme. It's hard to explain, but I'm not going to really blame that on the scheme because it's the car's shape. So as a scheme, obviously it's simple. Maybe boring to some people, but I really like it. At number 6 is Carson Hocevar's Delaware Life car, and I'm not really sure why there's a Delaware sponsored car, but unless it's not the state, I don't know, but it's a pretty cool looking scheme. The 77 usually has good paint schemes. There's a bit of a gap with that stripe, but I guess the stripe is there to fill it in, so yeah, really like the colors they used here. Decent job. Cracking the top 5 is Josh Berry's Sunny D paint scheme. Always liked the Sunny D car, and I think with that Stewart Haas number 4, it just looks even better. Love the colors, love how the bottle fills in that empty space, and yeah, it's a great scheme in my opinion. And number 4 is the Chris Buescher Fastenal car. At this point, the scheme is just kind of iconic to me. It's just so perfect. Just love the the blue and the black and how the chrome supports it, how big the logos are. I honestly think this scheme is probably one of the most iconic in the field now, and it's great, obviously. So, yeah, number 4. At number 3 is Ryan Priest, United Rentals. And I'm a bit of a sucker for United Rentals because they're usually with Austin Hill, and he's my favorite driver, but I do like their blue and white schemes usually. For whatever reason, they threw in some orange, but for some reason, I like it. They blue and orange schemes don't always get along right. For example, I don't really feel like it works on Kyle Larson's upcoming Coke 600 scheme, but here, there's just the right amount of it, and I really like the roof number, that it's pretty good. I also like the little stripes to the left of the number and the number gradient. That's great. So, really, really good paint scheme. At number 2 is Josh Williams. Now, I really wish this team had made the main event. He was close, but still a great looking car. Cogs numbers always look great. Love the yellow. I think it fits in with the blue. It's nothing too complex. I just think it looks solid. And number 1, quite literally. Oops! And number 1, quite literally, is Ross Chastain, the Busch Light car. This is great. It's a little bit weird seeing it on the number 1 instead of the number 4, but I love it. The number outline is fantastic. That beautiful Mountains of Busch pattern with just the right amount of white, light blue, and dark blue. Love the logo as well. There's really nothing wrong with this car. The background really fills in the empty space, and yeah, this is already a classic in my eyes. So there you have it. That's every Clash paint scheme ranked. I hope you enjoyed. Once again, I'll link in the description the paint scheme page on jski.com. So thanks to that for providing the images, and thank you if you made it through this video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you around.